Today on Perpetual Projects, we are going to answer the question of whether or not I need to resize my rods after I upgrade my rod bolts. Now, a lot of people will tell you that you always have to resize your rods if you upgrade the rod bolts. And that's not necessarily true. With the proper tools, you too can find out whether or not you need to resize your rods after you replace or upgrade your rod bolts. Now, this is going to require some marginally expensive tools, but you can buy all these tools for under $200. And if you're upgrading rod bolts, chances are you're building a high performance engine and you should probably have these tools anyway. Now, the first thing that we're going to be using is some micrometers. And this is a little one. This I'm going to use to measure the old rod bolt and compare it to our new ARPs and see if the diameter of the shank is the same. The other thing that we're going to use is a dial bore gauge. And you can use snap gauges and that saves a little bit of money, but I prefer a dial bore gauge. The way we're going to do this is first we're going to torque our rod with no bearing with the old rod bolts, and then we're going to measure it. And I've already got this set. It's on 0 for what the rods should be. Now, I'm just using the rod as my 0. There's probably a spec and you could set up a micrometer and zero with a micrometer and do all of that and then check the actual size of the rods. But what I want to know is how much does it change the big end of the rod when I change the rod bolts. I'm also going to be using a rod vise. This isn't required, but it's nice because it doesn't mar the rods up when you clamp them in here. The first step of this process is going to be to torque the rod down. And I'm going to the original spec. I've lubricated it with a little bit of clean engine oil. And our spec on these rod bolts is 45 foot-pounds. So we're going to torque this down to 45 foot-pounds. And we're just going to check it. Okay, so as you can see, with the rod bolt torqued, we're directly on the 0 marker, really, really close to it. It's hard for me to see because the camera's in the way. Then that is, if you look down here in the rod, that is up and down. And I expect this measurement to stay the same even after we change the rod bolts. So now we're going to change and we're going to go just above and below the parting line and an X, kind of not like a, not really an X, but on both sides right there. And I'm getting nearly the exact same measurement there. And then this one is about a 1/2,000th undersized. So it's a 1/2,000th bigger on that measurement there. Now we'll change the bolts and see what we get. So Amber just asked a really good question. And the reason that I'm rocking this back and forth is we want to get the shortest distance between this side of the cap and this side of this side of the cap and this side of the rod. And if you watch the gauge up here, you'll see that it gets bigger, and then it gets bigger, and right there in the middle is that's the shortest distance. That's our actual measurement. So when it comes to removing the old rod bolts, if you have pressed rod bolts like these, the way I see it, I have two options. One, can use a C-clamp and put it on here. I'm catching the rod vise on the back and just the end of the rod bolt. You just gotta make sure you get it lined up just right. And it doesn't take a whole lot, and they come right out. Now, these are big block Chrysler, and on big block Chrysler, as you can see, the rod bolt is a smooth shank. There's no knurl or anything. So, this may not be the right way to do it, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. You just tap it just a little bit, they come right out. I'm using a brass hammer. I'm never going to reuse these, but it's good practice not to destroy stuff when you don't have to. Okay, so let's compare our new ARP bolt to our stock Chrysler bolt. As you can see, the part where it actually presses into the rod is slightly longer on the ARP bolt compared to the stock bolt. Now let's measure them and see how closely they measure. And unfortunately, all I have is a metric micrometer that goes all the way to 0. So that one came out to 9.35 millimeters.
So do you just keep twisting that until it stops twisting?
Until it clicks.
Oh, until it clicks like you're torquing it?
Yeah. If we put this on the ARP bolt, I can tell you it's going to be a tad bigger, because it won't go on there. So on the shank, it's 9.39. So slightly bigger, 0.04 millimeters bigger on the shank. And now let's see what the part that you actually press into the rod is. And that should have clearance. That shouldn't actually be touching the rod anyway. So that shouldn't make a difference. So where we actually press it into the rod, we are 10.02 millimeters. And on the ARP, we are, well, it goes in there. It's very, very slightly bigger. It's so the stock rod bolt was just shy of the 2, and the ARP is just a hair over the 2. So they're actually really close to the same size. So hopefully that means it's not going to change the shape of our rod cap. So to install our new ARP bolts in the rods, we're going to start, I don't lube them with anything. Maybe you should, I don't know. The ARP instructions just say press them in. So we're going to line them up and pull them in as far as we can. Then we have to reset the rod in our rod vise to expose the head of those. We want to set this so that we can get the head all the way down. To press your new rod bolts in, what I'm using, I'm putting a socket over the rod bolt that has enough clearance so the bolt can come all the way through, and then I'm taking a C-clamp, and I switched C-clamps because the other one was kind of a piece of junk. And I'm just taking the C-clamp, putting it on the head of the bolt, and tightening it up. And it presses that bolt right down in there just like that, and has to go all the way till it's flush. So then when we put our new rod bolts in, make sure that if you're using ARP bolts, you use the ARP lube, and you want to make sure you get it on both the face of it and on the threads. And you don't have to coat the whole world in it. It doesn't take a lot. So when you're torquing your ARP bolts, make sure you go to the spec the ARP gives you, and the rod bolts come with a card that tells you what they should be torqued to. Ours are 50, and the reason that it's important to use their torque spec with their lube, because different lubes will change the torque spec, and then also different bolts are going to require a different amount of torque to achieve the right amount of stretch, because that's what you're actually trying to achieve, is the right amount of stretch. I don't have a stretch gauge, so we have to go the torque method. And these go 5 pounds more than the stock Chrysler rod bolts at 50. Now we're gonna recheck our rod, and as I expected, the top and bottom measurement stayed the same. I'm assuming this measurement is gonna be the one that changes if it does. And as you can see, it is now about 1.5 thousandths bigger than the other measurement. And then we'll check it this way. And that one is 0.5 thousandth bigger as well. That answers the question for me. I'm gonna have to resize my rods. Amber was asking me questions, so I'm gonna go over what we were hoping we had when we started and what we were hoping we maintained when we changed the rod bolts. These needed to be resized either way. I should have done it before I put this motor together, but this was not a check everything, blueprint the motor build. This was a running motor that we threw, well, actually it was parts out of a bunch of different running motors that we threw together to build an engine. And our rods were 1/2 thousandth off. A few of them have been 1,000th different. So this is 0, this would be +1, this would be -1. So a total of 2 thousandths difference. And we did check bearing clearance, and it checked good, and the bearings look okay. Obviously it was not making metal to metal contact. It didn't wipe the bearings out. This motor has about 9 passes on it, a whole bunch of idle time, and about 100 or so street miles on it. So if there was going to be a clearance problem, it should have showed up by now. We were turning at 6,400 RPMs when we were racing it, and everything was doing good. So that 1,000th obviously wasn't going to cause us a problem. It may cause you a problem. What you want to see when you check your rods is they're perfectly round, because that is what we're going to take these to the machine shop and have them honed to perfectly round. And I don't know the whole process, so I'm not going to muddle up what it is, but when you have them resized, when they get back to you, they hone them and they'll be perfectly round like a cylinder when it gets honed. So we're going to finish changing the last 3 rods, the bolts in the last 3 rods, and take these to the machine shop. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, I'm not really going to say we do a lot of myth busting, but if we have an opportunity and we're checking something, we'll share it with you guys. Because we're a budget-minded shop. I mean, we do everything with as little investment as we have to make. We're not afraid to invest. We just don't want to spend more than we need to. And if we can show you something that maybe you don't need to do, it could save you some time and money in the future. If you like that kind of stuff, subscribe, like the video if you don't mind, and leave a comment below. See you soon.